for tuning in. I'm Brooke Ferris, and I have Brooke Chipolesky and Emily Dice here with me today.
Have you guys seen The Interview?
Yeah, Seth Rogen and James Franco have changed so much from starting in 1999 casting in Freaks and Geeks to their most recent movie, The Interview, that was casted in 2015.
In case some people don't know what Freaks and Geeks is about, it's a television show about a group of teenagers dealing with life in high schools during the 80s.
Well, in Freaks and Geeks, Seth Rogen and James Franco weren't really the main characters, so it's kind of hard to compare in that sense, but The Interview, they're the main characters, so we can show how they've evolved to becoming better actors.
That is true. They also have more confidence and kind of play a cocky role. In The Interview, where Freaks and Geeks, they were still cocky but more in the background.
I actually thought they came off more cocky in Freaks and Geeks.
I feel like they're not really cocky in either movies. They just became like better actors in The Interview. What movie do you guys like better?
I like The Interview better.
What? I thought Freaks and Geeks was better.
It's pretty tough to say. I like The Interview better. It's more like, I don't really know. I just feel like I like it better. But Freaks and Geeks is really good too. The only thing about Freaks and Geeks is the best TV show casted in the 90s about teenagers' lives is that 70s show.
That is a very valid point, but that is an entirely different conversation.
I think they did the best acting job in this movie, and The Interview does not live up to the Pineapple Express, but it does give a few laughs.
Fine, shut the fuck up.
That's night vision.
Hey, night vision? That tiger has night vision goggles?
It doesn't have night vision goggles. It just naturally has night vision. Listen, just keep the line clear, Doug Beetle, please.
Art Parker's in trouble. What do I do? What do I do? Talk to me. Talk to me.
That's my favorite part of The Interview. They didn't even know the tiger was out there.
The cool thing about Freaks and Geeks is it launched the career of James Franco and Seth Rogen in 1999. They were not technically the main characters. They were supposed to be in the background, and in The Interview, their latest movie together in 2015, they've evolved into the main characters.
The Interview is about Dave Schuyler, played by James Franco, and producer Aaron Robert, played by Seth Rogen, run the celebrity tabloid show Schuyler Tonight when led The Interview with the supreme banned North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. They are united by the CIA, turned their trip into Pyongyang and into an assassin mission. Let's see what Ashley Johnson's opinion is. She has seen both movies.
What is your opinion on James Franco and Seth Rogen as actors?
They're really good actors and they work really well together.
What's your favorite movie that they're in together?
Pineapple Express.
Why is that your favorite movie?
It's really funny and they work really well together.
Do you like Freaks and Geeks in The Interview?
Yes.
What scene do you remember clearly from Freaks and Geeks?
The scene where the main girl gets high for the first time.
What scene do you remember clearly from The Interview?
The beginning scene with the little girl singing, like the missile launching in North Korea.
Do you think James Franco is cocky in either movies?
Yeah.
What movie?
He's cocky in The Interview, but that's like his character.
What is your opinion on how James Franco and Seth Rogen have changed throughout their acting years?
They got more confident and more experienced. Freaks and Geeks was kind of like they were actually in high school kind of thing, versus The Interview, which was like an actual movie.
Between the two, which one is your favorite actor?
Seth Rogen.
Why?
I don't know. I just love Seth Rogen.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate The Interview?
Like a 7 or 8.
Why?
It wasn't as good as Pineapple Express, so.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Seth Rogen?
10.
Why?
Because he's awesome. I don't know.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Freaks and Geeks?
Like a 7 or 8.
Why?
It's not as good as Pineapple Express, but it's still really good.
I feel like it's not as good as that 70s show, and that's why I would rate it low.
That Freaks and Geeks isn't as good. That makes sense.
Thank you for your time and letting us sing your view.
That's all we have today. Thanks for taking the time to listen to us.
Come on, let you go.